And it's absolutely beautifully written. It's original. It is not a copy of a copy of a copy. It's brand new, astonishing, and thrilling to breathe life into their language and their gestures. Beautiful writing, great director, and a wonderful cast to work with. Being a great lover of Shakespeare, and having played Othello, but not Iago. So I did not play him as a gangster. I played him as a patriarch. I worked with a wonderful dialect coach and also had occasion to watch a little bit of him on newsreel when he was older than I played him. I can tell you how Martin Scorsese gives me as an actor his notes after he sees a scene. He watches in a black box, watches the monitor, blind as a bat, not really, but he's come out of his box and it's rather bright, so he's guided by his assistant. He's led across a mass of cables and hazards, and he stands in front of me and he says, "Do you want to do another one?" Simple as that. It's pure and simple as that. Instead of boring you to sleep with endless notes that are unplayable that some arrogant directors force on the actor. "Do you want to do another one?" And I say, "Yeah." Or if I say no, he says, "Great, let's move on." So I always had in him the exiled Russian Jew who knew how to look after his own. Because in the shtetls, in the Jewish villages in Russia, you had to look after your own. And you had to know how to wheel and deal. You had to know, in order to survive, where to get your meat, your bread, where to get your gasoline, where to get safety, where to get weaponry. And I watched 5 hours of newsreel footage at one sitting, decided that it was impossible, left the cinema and didn't look at any more footage ever again. Standing at the foothills of the largest ice-covered mountain you've ever seen, thinking, I'll go up 1 foot and slide down 5. But he got me through it. 20 years in the preparation, and then like a bolt out of a catapult, he let go, bang, and he hit the target, I think. Modestly, I think he really hit the target. Beautiful film. That was the golden door into the film industry for me. I found it absolutely thrilling to play an actor playing a performance. Thrilling. I did base him on some of the actors I rubbed shoulders with in the Royal Shakespeare Company. It is his finest hour. It is his greatest performance. I remember meeting Steven Spielberg, and we discussed the possibility of me playing the role, and I said to Steven, what do you want? What is my narrative function in this film? I knew my answer, and he said, conscience, and I said, witness, and we shook hands and I was on board. It was almost the same word. Being a parent, I love to observe baby steps. At the first time a child stands up and walks is a beautiful moment. We had to be vulnerable to the bigger picture, the greater story. Very pure, very beautiful story. It's a story about aspiration, achieving your goal, and then suffering terrible loss. A predatory creature, a wolf, a leopard, tiger, highly cunning, will have moments of enormous stillness before leaping upon his prey. So again, I was fatalistically a tiny step ahead of the game. Sometimes happens in life. It's quite beautiful. I am doing a voiceover. I'm recording an animated feature. Everything has to come through the voice. And your body is taken care of by a set of animators. So my physical language is completely irrelevant to the film, although, as I'm doing now, talking, my body does come into play, naturally. So again, we're dealing with very pure, archetypal characters. They're not copies of a copy of a copy of a copy. They're utterly original and thrilling. I think that if I can see on the page that the writer, director has a genuine grasp of patterns of human behavior, and I can recognize, that's a real dance, then I'm on board.